Welcome back, my gentle people. This is Corner Stories with your daily serving of relationship stories. So let's get into it. Am I the asshole for hooking up with my friend's fiancée when she told me to? I, F26, was dating a guy, M34, for a while a few years ago, and everything was going pretty okay. He was very handsome, made good money, good in bed, but sometimes he gave off kind of suspicious and kind of douchey vibes. The big problem was when he sprang it on me that he absolutely insisted on having a housewife, and that his partner couldn't work. He asked me if I'd be willing to quit my job if we got married, and naturally I just told him, LOL no. He didn't really want to drop the subject even after he first brought it up though, and he only got madder when it was obvious I wasn't even going to humor him. He asked me, "Are you even willing to have a discussion about this?" And I just told him casually, no, without even looking away from my computer. That was kind of the beginning of the end of things, and we drifted away from seeing each other. Later on, my friend, F32, my sister's, F28, best friend asked if it was okay if they started dating, and I just told her sure. Just a couple years later and they're engaged with the wedding coming up. She's texting me with doubts and questions about him, and she's telling me that she isn't sure if this is the man she wants to spend the rest of her life with. She thinks she doesn't love him. She thinks he might not love her. She says that she doesn't think she's his type. All of his ex-girlfriends are Instagram pretty, and she's not. She's not even sure if she even likes him, apparently, and he wants her to quit her job. The only reason that she even feels committed to marrying him is because both of their families have poured a huge amount of money into the wedding, and it was too late to get most or any of it back. She told me she wished she could break up with him, but she doesn't have a good reason. She said, "I wish he would cheat on me, so I could dump him." I told her he definitely would, and that I could definitely get him to. No question. She said, "I wish you would." And so, just a few days later, I sent him flirty texts and he immediately reciprocated. He was flirting back as soon as I started telling him how much I missed him and how sexy he looked in his new outfits. I invited him over to my place to see what happens, and he couldn't wait to come over. He comes by, we kiss, we make out a little, and I have sex with him. I sent him home, and that very night I texted my friend, "Well, okay. You can dump him now." "He cheated," she texted back. "What?" And I told her I just had sex with him and that I had proof of everything. She didn't say anything back, even when I texted her again, "What do you want to do?" I figured she was going to have a fight with him, or she was going to have a fight with me, or something, but nothing. Everything still seems to be going forward with the wedding, my sister is still maid of honor, and I'm still a bridesmaid. At this point I hadn't told anybody in the wedding anything yet, and she contacted me and asked me what I had. I told her about all of the sexual texts we had sent back and forth with each other, and for that matter that I had him kissing me in front of my place on my doorbell camera, and that I had him making out with me in my living room on my security camera before we went to my bedroom to have sex. I wanted him cooked, so I saved everything but the used condom. She tells me to delete everything. Obviously, I told her WTF. No. More back and forth, and she just wants to pretend like nothing happened, I guess. The wedding rolls up, and I'm a bridesmaid. She's still pretending everything is fine, and I am just beside myself trying to figure out WTF. When they asked if anybody had any objections, I was raising my eyebrows and looking at her like crazy trying to get her attention, and she was in between trying to look straight like nothing was happening and giving me this hidden scrunchy lemon face head shake, so I just shrugged and kept my hand down. At the reception, she seemed to be avoiding me, and I couldn't help but give a speech that included that I knew firsthand what a great a stud she was buying. My FWB, M25, had to practically hold me back from saying more, before I implied more than that the groom was my ex, which everyone already knew. The bride and groom got back from their honeymoon, and now she's acting weird towards me when we hang out with our friends, but she can't say anything specific, obviously. Some people have noticed the tension, but she won't elaborate. She can't say anything to anyone about why she's mad at me because she knows I have receipts and she told me to do this. Meanwhile, I've been telling her she needs to get an annulment and trying to get her to let me pull the trigger on this thing. She just kept texting me to delete everything, until I told her, "You know I'm just saving these texts too, right?" And that made her stop talking about it. Her husband, my ex, has been talking about when she's going to quit her job, but I told her that she'd better not. She doesn't make crazy money, but she has decent livable pay, and she's got a really good job with a lot of security and a lot of benefits. I told her, privately, that if she quits her job I'm just going to share everything with everyone. For the time being, she's been stalling. I know she really loves her job, and I know that her husband is a douchebag. Just a few days ago, I sent him some more flirty texts, and he asked for pics. I played along and sent him a bra pic, which he very much appreciated. Then I sent screenshots of the convo to my friend along with, "Your husband is trash JSYK." She complained that he never asks her for pics, but I just told her WTF whatever, that's not the point. You need to get an annulment. Dump him. I asked her if she's even totally in love with him or if she's sure this is the guy she wants to spend the rest of her life with, and she was just wishy-washy on probably no and probably not. The only people that know about the full context of why she's been acting weird and what's been going on are my sister and my FWB. We share our sexual histories with each other, and I figured I might as well tell him why I hooked up with my ex. Both of them are totally on my side, and they think I'm doing the right thing by holding on to the data and telling my friend not to quit her job. My friend is still acting like I'm in the wrong though. Relevant comments: I have no judgment, I'm just here to see how far this drama goes. You are being a little spiteful towards your friend, so a little YTA-ish. It's unfortunate, but you can't be her backbone for her. I recommend just cutting contact with her. Just tell people you've had some very deep disagreements and are both taking a break from each other. You're both exhausting each other, and it's clear that she's approaching her breaking point. What that will look like is unknown and a little scary because she seems very unpredictable and backed into a corner. If this does get out though, it's not her who's going to be facing the heat. It's gonna be you and the ex-BF. I'd agree on idiot-ish vibes, but man, she's done a good job showing the girl that this guy is trash. If her friend doesn't want to accept it, that's up to her. OP is an idiot for keep rubbing it in. Once was more than enough to prove her point, now it's more of an ego boost for her. Just leave that friend of yours be. If she likes being cheated on, her choice. The husband sounds like he wants a wife he can control. OP should let the wife know she has the materials should the wife ever decide to leave and need them, and then she should just walk away. OP, you can't make people leave bad relationships. And continuing to meddle is going to push it from you doing what she asked, to you being an idiot. And that is the end of that story. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Let's move on to story 2. Am I wrong for telling my GF that I won't be with her if she continues to allow her poly friend to try to convince us to open our relationship? My GF and I have been together for a while now, and recently, one of her male friends has become polyamorous with his GF. All the details, but they basically date and have sex with others. This guy friend was also my GF's FWB. Which makes his comments even more uncomfortable for me. Ever since he started exploring this new lifestyle, he's tried to convince us, mostly my GF, to try it. He spews shit like, when you're really secure in your relationship, sex with others will not matter. I told him that there is no way in hell I'm ever trying the lifestyle. My GF denied too, but not as strongly. Something that pissed me off though, was when this guy said, "It's okay, fragile masculinity is pretty common with inexperienced men." I've talked to my GF alone to confirm this is not something she ever wants, which she did confirm. I also told her next time her friend makes a comment like that, she better back me up when I tell him to fuck off, because I won't take that kind of disrespect. She did agree the comment was wrong. While his comments on my fragile masculinity have stopped, he still tries to convince my GF to try the lifestyle several times. I told her the fact that she regularly hangs with the guy, was a FWB, and basically is one step away from straight up asking to sleep with him again is making me way too uncomfortable. I told her I'm not gonna be with someone who's friends with a guy who's basically begging her to sleep with him under the guise of being poly. That's all we have of this story. In my opinion, that poly friend is being a creep, but that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Story 3. AITA for breaking up with my fiancé after hearing her bullying my ex-GF. We, M33, F28, have been together 3 years. Engaged for 1. Before her I dated Sarah, F34. We are all acquaintances, and while we don't hang out with Sarah, occasionally we run into her. While my breakup with Sarah wasn't amicable, we are very cordial now. We don't talk. But my fiancé didn't keep it this way, did she? We were at housewarming party and Sarah was there, which set my fiancé on edge, and I noticed that, but I didn't say anything because she's an adult. Then I overheard her talking to Sarah and some other girls. My fiancé was laughing and telling Sarah, "OMG, you are so fat now." It made me ick. When Sarah left I asked my fiancé WTF. She laughed and said it was nothing. Sarah did look like she gained weight. She left to get more wine, and one other friend told me that my fiancé always bullied Sarah. I don't want to be married to a bully. I tried talking and discussing why it wasn't okay with my fiancé, but she was brushing it off, not seeing any problems. I broke up with her. She started crying and begging, but I said it was over. I don't want to be married to a bully. She called me the idiot and that I chose Sarah over her, my fiancé. Now everyone is calling me an idiot. The only reason I can think of to why she calls me the idiot is that my fiancé liked me way before we got together. Even before I got together with Sarah. So maybe it was personal for her given the new information that my fiancé never liked Sarah, and I got together with her. Relevant comments. I get being jealous, but that never gives the right for someone to bully and make someone feel so low. You barely interacted with Sarah and you proposed to your fiancé. There's no reason to act this way when you chose her already. Even if you and Sarah do talk, there was no reason to body shame someone, especially in front of an audience. If this occasion was a once-off, maybe it could be explained by a moment of jealousy, but to be doing this constantly is just so shallow. Thank God you found this out before going through the wedding and marrying someone who could potentially do this to other people in your life. She's mad because you found out her true colors and she wants to blame everyone else but herself. Sarah, and you didn't deserve this behavior, and I hope you're doing okay, and hopefully Sarah isn't too hurt by your ex-fiancé. OP's response. According to the friend, my fiancé has always bullied Sarah for not being from our social status. I didn't know anything about it. Never noticed it either. Comment 3. The ick keeps getting bigger and bigger. I think Sarah unintentionally saved you from a soon-to-be train wreck. And with that we will move to the fourth and final story. AITA for going to my room because I was uncomfortable with the fact my ex was at my house. My ex, Ryan, 20M, and I, 17M, dated for about 2 years until he decided that he couldn't be with me anymore because we were on different paths. He decided to break up with me over text. I was so heartbroken and embarrassingly begged for him to take me back, but he blocked me. I definitely cried. Cried over a man that didn't want me. Unfortunately my sister, 22F, started dating Ryan. We all knew she was dating someone but didn't know who he was until Easter when she decided to show up with him. Not invited. He was not invited BTW. My parents instantly remembered Ryan though, because they remembered how we used to be best friends. So it was really my parents and Ryan catching up. My sister felt relieved that we all knew Ryan already and was happy our parents were eager to talk to him. I felt uncomfortable the entire time because we locked eyes quite a bit and I couldn't take it anymore. It didn't help that my brother, 18M, was laughing at me, so I decided that he wasn't gonna make me uncomfortable in my own home. I had to get up and leave, and that's what I did. After Ryan left, my parents came into my room furious and told me that I shouldn't have left so abruptly and I should apologize to Ryan. They told me that he was hurt by it and they are upset I was acting that way towards an old friend of mine. He ain't my friend, and I told them that. I told them that they knew he blocked me, so calling us friends is crazy. They told me that we used to be so close together, for the wrong reasons, and now that my sister is dating him we could rebuild our friendship. I told them that that is not a friendship I'd want again, and that sometimes people are on different paths and my path is not on the same path as his. They knew he told me this when we stopped communicating and told me that they felt I was simply being petty. My sister is mad at me too and told me that I have no decorum. Crazy, cause she needs to tell her man that. My brother is the only one who knew Ryan and I were dating and he felt like I wasn't in the wrong. I'm really just posting this for clarity TBH. Ryan is now trying to communicate with me and it's pissing me off. Like, we aren't friends and I'd appreciate it if he leave me alone. Cause I'm not going to be buddy-buddy with him just because he is dating my sister now. Got me fed up. ETA, no, my parents and sister don't know we dated. They just thought we were friends. Only my brother knows. Relevant comments. You need to tell your parents you dated and they can either have Ryan in their lives or you. Also block his attempts, just block him everywhere. He dated you when you were 15 and he was 18-19, F me, that's creepy. And is now dating his sister. WTF. And that is the end of the story. That's it guys, this is where I will leave you. I hope you enjoyed the stories I had for you. I certainly enjoyed them. Please be sure to drop a like or a comment and it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I will see you. Corner Stories signing off.